everyone. Today my post will be on applying the redundancy principle. The redundancy principle pertains to multimedia presentations that contain redundant or excessive information when audio and on-screen text are used alongside with graphics. Since people have both auditory and visual learning styles, it would seem to make sense that presenting information in the form of narration and on-screen text would benefit the learner. According to Clark and Mayer, the research shows the opposite to be true. Cognitive load theory states that learners have two separate channels in which they process information, one channel being verbal and one being visual. Each channel has a limited amount of processing that can take place at one time. When written text is combined with graphics in a multimedia presentation, the visual channel becomes overloaded and less of the information is processed by the learner. Additionally, some people may spend time trying to reconcile the difference between the text and the narration, which can cause extraneous cognitive processing or overload. There are some instances in which on-screen text may benefit the learner, including the screen doesn't contain any animation, video, photos, or other visuals. There is enough time to process visuals and text. For example, the presentation is very slow. The learner must exert much greater cognitive effort to understand spoken words than written words, as is the case with some non-native speakers. And 4, only a few words are presented next to each graphic, like labels. As educators, I believe we have all been in a situation where students have had trouble understanding the information being presented to them. It is easy in these circumstances to blame the student for not paying attention, but how we present information to students plays a big role in the successful processing of that information by the learner. If 1 or 2 students are having difficulty understanding the information presented to them, there may be nothing wrong with the instruction. If the majority of students are not grasping the important concepts, something else must be wrong. The less is more approach seems to fit more times than not when it comes to allowing learners the opportunity to process information. Extraneous processing is an excessive cognitive load that can reduce the amount of capacity needed for essential processing. In some cases, the extra processing required by learners is too much, and they give up trying to follow the presentation, and learning stops altogether. In other circumstances, only a portion of the essential information is absorbed, and lesson objectives are not met. Teachers can limit extraneous processing by adhering to the redundancy principle when making multimedia presentations. In terms of the project I am working on for this course, this principle should be considered when my group develops their multimedia instructional videos to avoid cognitive overload and allow the learners the best opportunity at learning the information presented.